Arena. Oh, lost her.
Oh, it's how it always goes. I think, hey, someone check if we're live.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm
Make
here.
sure.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. I'm
Oh, we
sorry.
are.
That's okay.
It's right here.
The unmute button and the other button are right there.
Excellent.
All right, I'm gonna welcome all of us. All right, welcome everybody to a very special episode of Sharing the Magic. Usually we stream on Sundays, but we're so passionate, we're ambitious, all those things that we're doing it twice this week. And so tonight we are thrilled to welcome back our friend, Gregg Ziak. And Greg's not just a Disney fan. Gregg is a true keeper of Disney history. His his collection is massive, and I think what makes it special really is the story behind every piece that he has. These aren't just collectibles that we're going to view tonight. These are memories. These are pieces of the park history and little kind of windows into the magic that so many of us grew up loving. And so Gregg has a gift for helping people see why these things matter, not just, what they are. And so tonight we get the joy of walking through part of his collection and hearing the stories behind it and sharing the magic together. So welcome, Gregg. Welcome back, man. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
Welcome.
This is cool. Do we have anything to say before we just dive in?
Well, Donna had something she wanted. I
Okay.
guess
Yeah. Go.
wanted me to share.
Yes, I just was going to ask if you had any great stories about Walt Disney from the Imagineers and the people you've been fortunate enough to work with.
I got I got to hang out with Sam McKim a lot, and we all know what he's responsible for. His One of his claim to fame are the Haunted Mansion, some of the original designs that he did with Ken Anderson and Claude Coates of the mansion. And Sam has also probably dipped his pen and drawn practically all the different attractions in Walt Disney World and Epcot and such. And so Sam has a really big history in a lot of the attractions in practically any Disney theme park. And for me, uh, when we'd get together, he'd share so many stories about his relationship with Walt Disney. Uh, it was it was a combination of love and fear both. He says he loved the man, extremely loved him, but he feared him at the same time. He used to call Sam McKim Samuel, my boy, or my boy Samuel. And no, when I talked to Matt McKim, Sam's son, who I've known for years, Matt says nobody calls my dad by that name except for Walt Disney. So Sam's had some very fond stories, but he says whenever we do like a get together at Imagineering to review projects that we were working on, and Walt would be there, overseeing what was being as the project was progressing. He said, Walt was very emotionless at first. Would just sit there and just deadpan look at what you're doing. And to get a compliment out of Walt Disney, it's like an act of God to get anything nice to come out of his mouth to compliment anything any Imagineers were doing for him. And if you got a okay or yeah, that looks nice, man, you hit the jackpot. I mean, it was like you couldn't have gotten a better, man, excellent. Your design is really real good. Yeah, just didn't do that. So, yeah, like I said, depending on who you talk to, they all had stories like that where he would come in just deadpan. Uh, one thing, and this is something, if you ever watch the movie, oh, what was the one? It was the one on his, it was it was on Mary Poppins, and that's the one where I think it's like not Emily Blunt, but
T.L. Travers, Saving Mr.
that's
Banks.
it, Saving Mr. Banks. There's a phrase that is true that they used in the movie that is true in the at the studios or even at Imagineering. Whenever Walt was coming down the hall, the word started going out. And what the word was, man is in the forest. If man is in the forest, you better be on your game when he shows up because he's coming to look at what you're doing. And yeah, man is in the forest was just quietly spread amongst all the Imagineers whenever he was in the building. So it could be a pleasant experience, or it could be like, oh my God, living hell. Walt can flip the switch on you at any time. So it's
He had a vision, I'll tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah. He knew exactly what he wanted. He knew exactly what he could get out of his employees, and he handpicked them all. And yeah, enough said about that one.
All right, so your
Oh,
collection.
hold on, let me just show
Oh,
one
go
thing.
ahead, finish your
I,
thought. For sure,
I've
for
got
sure.
I had a book. I got one of my books over here, and I showed it the last time. It's got all these autographs in it,
Yeah.
and I've been collecting autographs from Disney for 30 years, and I had one time I was at a stockholders meeting, and I caught up with Michael Eisner, and I say, "Hey man, can you sign my book for me?" And he goes, "Sure." So Michael Eisner signed it on signed it on the back page of my book, and it sat that way for many years. And then when I ran into Harriet Burns at a function, I've known Harriet for years too. I said, Harriet, I don't think you've ever signed my book before. Can you sign it? And she goes, "Oh, sure, Greg." So she's flipping through. Oh, look at these names. I forgot. I haven't seen these people forever, and some of them have passed on. But when she saw Michael Eisner's name, she's like zeroed in on his name, and she goes, "Hand me a pen." I said, "Okay." So I hand her a pen, and she puts her autograph right over the top of his name. And I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 Harriet! No, don't. There's a lot of other blank spaces in the book. Just sign somewhere else." And she goes, "Too late." I said, "Why did you do that?" And she said, "It's because I hate that MF guy." And she went on a rant on how much she didn't like Michael Eisner, and I'm going, "Whoa!"
What did I step into?
So where her name sits on top of Michael Eisner's, it's so special for me because when I open that book and see those two autographs on top of one another, it just cracks up. I go into almost hysterical laughter because I know exactly what that was.
That's funny. It's such a good story.
Yeah.
That's a good representative of like all
Oh,
the stuff that you have. A lot of it, these are memories and these are
oh yeah.
stories.
If I can find it in my book here and I can
Yeah,
bring it
show
up
us.
to the screen and you guys see it, you'll see Harriet Burns' name with Michael Eisner's like just underneath it. Let's see here. Uh, Here we go, right there. Okay. If you'll notice, Michael Eisner's name is underneath it, and then you'll see in black Harriet Burns on the top.
That's cool.
You see that?
Yeah. Hold on, let
Yeah,
me try to make you
I'm
full
going,
screen.
no,
Let me.
no. And then when she told me the
Look at all
story, I was
those
like, yeah,
autographs.
There
okay.
we go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just some of the many things like when you run into these these Disney legends or cast members or people that work for the company, and they all have their own stories to share. And I feel like a sponge. I'm almost like you guys. I'd rather let them talk to me and tell me everything rather than me ask them a bunch of questions about their life. I just let them open up and I just absorb everything that's being told to me.
I love that.
But she was a character, Harriet Burns.
Yeah.
And she was the first woman that was hired by Walt Disney to work at WED.
Huh.
I think at the time there was only 3 employees that worked at WED, and she was one of them.
Yeah. Girl power.
Yeah, girl power.
Right there.
Yeah.
I know Jeff is chomping at the bit to
I
show.
know there's so
show
much
your-
cool things
I'm
to
gonna
talk
cut-
about.
Jeff, it is a treasure trove. That's what the word we were looking for.
A treasure
Okay.
trove.
I like
It is
that.
me too.
I like that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to share. All right. Let's share.
Ah,
There we go. We're going to start here.
that's-
And
I think that's Jeremy Fulton's 40th anniversary of the Haunted Mansion. I saw that at the Disneyana shop when it used to sit above Pirates of the Caribbean. And when I saw it, I said, "Oh, I got to have this." So I had a Gickley. They had a limited edition Gickley for that print. There were other, just regular print on demand, but that one, oh my gosh, was amazing. But where it hangs is a little weird in my house. I can only find one spot in the house, and that's above the toilet in my bathroom. So that's where it sits.
Well, the bathroom can be scary sometimes, but I love the Haunted Mansion. So that was a great purchase.
That was. Yeah, I love his work. He does some amazing things. His bigger claim to fame right now is he did a big picture or a big painting of opening day for Disneyland, and this thing stands, I think, about 4 or 5 feet tall by about at least 3 feet wide, and it looks like something out of like Star Spangled Banners. There's American flags and everything on it, and I took a picture of it, but I'd have to, let's see if I can find it, and then I'll just send it to you right now, and you can tell me if you want to bring that up on the screen.
I'm going to fumble my way through sharing because I'm
Yeah.
trying my best to
That
share.
would scare me at night. That picture that's up there right now.
Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
when the what was it, tooth when geez, it was the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I have all the I have there was a, let's see here. It was, I've got it sitting over here, but I'm afraid to pull it out of my book stand because I've got all my books sliding on an angle, and I'm afraid. Let's see if I can grab this thing. No. No. This book. Here. Okay. Want to do just the camera for a second, Jeff?
Yeah.
I see it.
I'm
That
gonna
makes
pull
me
it.
want to say dead men tell no tales.
Yeah, it came out. The Art of Pirates of the Caribbean. It was it was basically all the artwork for Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, and At World's End. So I've got like 4 of these books, and one of them I just cut up to do that. So
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah,
I like that display a lot.
Very
and
neat.
my buddy who owns a frame shop, we found the most interesting frame to put it in. And so those are all skeleton heads and hearts and stuff. Oh, there we go. I wish you could zoom in on those signatures. I
I
mean, they're
probably
so,
can. That's what
oh,
I'm
you can?
trying to see. Well,
Okay.
yeah. That's why I said I'm fumbling my way through it because I'm watching on live stream as we live stream. It's like, okay,
Oh,
sometimes.
I see the signatures below the image.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me
I
see.
have 2 of those. One I framed as what you're seeing there, and the other one just sits rolled up in a tube. But it's like
Yeah.
the signatures, one of them has more signatures than this one, but at the time, this one had all the signatures I cared to have on it, and then I decided to frame it. But I've got Harriet Burns on there, and I think I've got Mark Davis and Sam McKim, and there's a few other names that I'm I want to say I'm familiar with, but probably not off the top of my head. But
That's pretty.
a
I love it.
lot of people signed this litho,
Cool.
and it hangs on the
That's
stairs.
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, look at these.
yes.
Wow.
And those are of all my attraction posters. Believe it or not, these are some of my favorites because of how rare they are. I mean, the one on the right is the Disneyland Railroad, but it was the bicentennial special that came out in 1976, and they had a limited run of 144 of them. And when Disney tried selling them over at the Disneyana shop, no one was buying it. So when they had their first big like D23 event, they brought them out to that event and sold a lot of them off. And I bought like two of those at the time.
Cool.
And again, one of them sits rolled up in a tube, and the other one now sits on the wall. But at the bottom, you'd have to zoom in close, but on the bottom, you'd see in the left corner, it would tell you, uh, oh, other side. Yeah, there we go. But it would tell you which number this was out of the run, and I think I forget the number, but it was like number and then slash 144. So it's I think they said if you were to take this serigraph out of the frame there,
Mhm.
you'd see all the swatch marks down the sides of the poster. In fact, all these posters that I have swatch marks of all the paint that they used to make them up. And I think that one had like about uh, at least 13, if not more, of different colors to make those different colors for the train.
Wow.
But the one that was the hardest one to make, that's what Ruben Rodriguez, who was in charge of the poster department at Walt Disney Imagineering, told me. Is he said that the Splash Mountain was the most extensive and expensive poster they had ever made. It had over 100, I think it's 118 different colors in that, and each color represents a plate. If you're familiar with the silk screen process,
Mm.
every color is a different every color is a different plate, and they have calibration points on the corners of the poster, and they put it on this platform, and they like switch plates in and out as they're making this poster. And as soon as one plate comes into place and they calibrate it and lock it down, then they take out little like squeegees of color, and they just sweep it across the face of that plate.
Mm.
And then as soon as that's been done, then they swap out that plate and put the next one in. And when you see how long it takes just to make one poster, you can see how rare silkscreen poster making can get very expensive, and
Yeah.
it's really a kind of a lost art now because Disney now turns to print on demand. It's just like a one pass down the face of their paper, and there you go. You,
Okay.
you get this thing. But all of these are all made by silkscreen.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna flip when I flip through. If we need to go back, if anyone's like, "Oh, wait, Jeff, not so
Mhm.
fast," we can go back. I got a
Okay.
mouse right here, so we can do that. But I'm gonna hit some.
Oh,
We're gonna chug along here.
I'm not sure exactly what. I think this I think this came out in 1979 also. The Lily Bell. It was a limited edition through Hartford Locomotive.
Mm.
And I sent you the box that it came in, Jeff.
Yeah.
And on one side it
No,
shows
that's not
Walt
it.
sitting on the Lily Bell. Oh,
I know. Sorry, I need to go back. No, I was like, oh, maybe the next slide will be the box. No, it's probably like three slides.
no,
I don't know.
yeah. But in that set there, I have an original Lily Bell um, train pass to get you on the Lily Bell that they gave out back in the 50s. So that sits behind the train, and it's like mounted on the inside of the plastic display cabinet or case. And then in front, I have an original Disneyland Railroad conductor's badge that's set in the middle of his hat. Um, And then to the right of the sign where it says Lily Bell, there is the Walt Disney World conductor's badge. And then in that little right in the center where it says Lily Bell, and you see that like an I-beam chunk of silver metal. Okay, that is actually a part of Walt's railroad track from the Lily Bell from his backyard.
That's so cool. You know who would love this, Barry?
That is
Hey,
so
Lisa, are you? Wait, where's Lisa's? Lisa. Oh yeah, can you message Barry and be like, Barry, do you want to hop on? Like, just
Okay.
hop on. He would geek out. I know he would geek out about this. He
Okay,
probably won't. He's probably busy, but just let's give it a shot.
I'll try.
Okay.
And that button on the far right underneath the coal car, that's an engineer's badge
So cool.
also.
That's awesome. Okay, the next one. I'm excited about the next one.
Okay.
And if we're going too fast, Greg, this
No.
is your stories to tell. So
No,
you
that's
can-
quite all right.
all right. You're the train conductor
Okay.
here.
Okay. When my best friend and I went to Tokyo Disneyland back in 2001, we went to he was there on business, my friend was, and I was there for just sheer enjoyment. So we went during oh, a little history on the event. We we went right in the middle of 911. Okay, where the twin towers collapsed and all, the whole terrorist attack on the twin towers. Well, we had two tickets to Japan, and my buddy Steve and I were on a plane going to Japan, where we were the only two people on the plane. Nobody was flying back in early September of 2001.
Okay.
So when we got there, we had the whole Tokyo Disneyland Resort and the brand new resort, which was Tokyo Disney Sea, practically to ourselves. You could walk on, get off, walk on a ride, come off, walk back on the same ride, on and on. And while we were there, they had, in celebration of the opening of Tokyo Disney Sea, all these limited edition collector sets or collectibles. And what you're looking at is one of them. This was a limited run of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea Nautilus.
Mhm.
I want to excuse the dust that you see in front of me. I normally keep my
Excuse, I didn't even notice
clean.
until you pointed it out.
Yeah, I normally keep my cabinets clean, but and I told Jeff that I was going to retake this picture, but obviously you didn't want to wait. So
No, I think it's better how it is. It gives it more of like an under the sea
Right.
vibe, It's like
Yeah.
I could have mistaken that for like you're being sand and you were just making a diorama,
And see, I thought it was sitting on felt. So if you hadn't mentioned it, or like velvet or something.
I wish it's just plain old dust. But the platform itself is like a copper feel, but it has that copper rust, that green color. So that's what's holding the Nautilus in place. And what makes this sub so special is a lot of parts on these things move. So just behind that okay, you see where the cabin is, and then you see where the center of the ship is.
Uh-huh.
If you go to the right, and then you see that fin, there's a little hatch just to the right of that fin, or what do they call that part on a fish? It's the anyway. I wish
Dorsal fin.
dorsal fin. Thank you. Well, at that dorsal fin, just behind it is a like a lid where the crew from the Nautilus would come in and out of. Well, that lid spins from right and left, and what you can do is as you turn it,
Gotta
okay,
go back. I know. I don't know what it's doing. Hold on, I gotta stop
Yeah.
sharing. I told you. I got it's about ticks.
yeah,
Man.
ticks, woohoo!
This is all live streaming too. Oh gosh, who knows? Apparently there's ticks in Red Bluff, California.
That was your service announcement, your PSA to watch for ticks.
Stay out of those bushes.
Right. Look out.
Hold on, I gotta go through it.
Lisa.
Good thing I'm not like a weirdo and I have weird stuff on my computer.
I mean, you never know what'll show up on Facebook, really.
Sorry, Facebook. Here we go.
Well,
And now since we said the word ticks, it'll be on all of our Facebooks
Here's what I'm
later.
trying to do. I'm
There
trying
you
to
go.
share. I'm trying to make us
Exactly.
all visible, so it's not just Greg. It's
So that hatch just behind the dorsal fin is just a on-off switch. You turn it, and it's a volume switch, and it plays the actual sound from the Nautilus from the movie, from that volume switch. And then also it turns on the lights. So the cabin lights, the lights behind the center part here, like the observation deck that Ned and Captain Nemo would look out as their sailors were like on the ground floor of the ocean, harvesting their crops and their sea life for meals. Well, that also lights up.
Hmm.
And then on behind that hatch sits a little boat. And when you take the boat and move it, like say pull it out of its dock and turn it around and put it back into its dock, it causes the motor to to turn on the propellers, and the propellers start spinning. So, in fact, give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab it out of my case in
That's
the in
yes,
the in
please.
the other room and just
Yeah,
demonstrate this. I'll be right back.
for sure.
To entertain the
I'm all
listeners.
worried about ticks now, everybody.
Oh, me too. But
Like,
regarding this Nautilus, Jeff,
okay. Yes.
to entertain everyone, I was absolutely horrified of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the ride as a child. I mean, to the point where like I was screaming, crying because I thought we were really going down. I didn't know that you were really 12 inches underwater, or if that. Did anyone else? I guess I might be the oldest one here, but has anyone gone to Disneyland and ridden it? Because it used to be at Disney World,
Yeah.
I
but
have
it's still at
not
Disneyland.
heard it,
Okay.
Leanne.
Okay.
Here we are. Okay. So if you want to put the camera back on me, I've got the sub in my hands.
Okay, I'll do my best. You know how it's already going. Let's see.
It's okay.
Let me share you. We're going to. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Stop share.
There we go. Okay, so here's the Nautilus. Here's that ship that I have in the other room that sits on that platform. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the lights in my office here, and I'm going to turn the lights on this submarine. Pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. So I turn this knob on top. You can see
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to turn up the volume too on it.
Mhm.
I don't know when the last time I changed the batteries on here were. Hear that?
No, you know why? Because I have like background noise.
Oh, darn.
I know.
This sounds just like the Nautilus from
Yeah,
20,000 Leagues. Exact
Oh, wow.
sound. Yeah. And if I take, let's see here, this bottom hatch down here is where the batteries are. But if I take this little dinghy out of the back of the ship, let's see this here, this dinghy, and I put it back in the ship in reverse, it causes the propeller to spin.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So that's the off switch. I mean, you have to take it out to turn the propellers off, and then you put it back in to get the propellers to spin.
That's so cool.
You know, it's one of the coolest models that I've ever seen. I collect die-cast models and such, but this one is by far my favorite. It's got I've got a lot of things from Corgi, like the Batmobile and the Green Hornet car and stuff, but
Oh, cool.
this hands down is my favorite die cast.
I'm a sucker for things that light up too.
Yeah.
That's neat.
That's
I
stuff
wish
like
you-
I like to.
I wish you guys could hear the sound that this thing is making.
Well, you have to send it to me, and I don't know what I would do,
Okay.
but I don't know if there's a way I can change it. Let me see. Let me check noise removal. Hold on. I'm going to try this.
Okay.
All right, now try it. Darn it. I think it's just me. I think you'll have to go to your audio. There's a little up button,
Okay.
and it says noise removal default.
Oh.
Click off of that, and you can put original sound for musicians.
Let's see.
And it
Okay.
will, and it will have the background music. So if you go to audio, little uppy button thingy that looks like
speaker.
that.
On a Macintosh, not the same thing as what you see as on a PC. Let's see here.
So far left, where it says audio, on the very bottom far left, it says audio. It's a little microphone, right? Do you see that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I've clicked on it.
Okay. Well, if I click on the up
Okay.
thing, if I
hit the up button, I wish
and it
my
says
options
original
are
sound for musician.
my options are same as system, studio display microphone, iPhone microphone, or
Oh, I see.
Microsoft.
Well, I hit okay. I think it's my since I'm the host. I think it as I hit original. Try it now. Let's just try it now.
Oh, here. Okay. I'll do the one you suggested.
Yep, you can hear it now.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah.
keep it at that, unless you.
Hate to stare that thing down if I was sitting in a boat at sea.
That's funny. I can hear it now. There we go.
Yeah. But one of the best models I've seen come out of Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don says,
Impressive.
but while you were grabbing it, Don says, "Would you say you're scared of? You're terrified of?"
Yeah, when I was a little girl, they
Yeah.
had it at Disney World, and I was horrified when my brother took me on it because you don't realize as a child that you're only under just surface water, just a few inches under the water, and then it has that red light that goes off because the octopus apparently
yeah.
grabs it. So I was horrified, and I just traumatized. But of course I like it now, and when I go to Disneyland I ride it, but I think it's the fear of not knowing. But that's a really cool model.
It is cool.
Yeah, I mean the box that it came in is amazing in itself. It came with a blueprint of the Nautilus, actually a working document if you wanted to build one, and it shows all the compartments inside this ship, where all the crew sleep, where Captain Nemo's salon is, everything. And when that limited edition came out, everyone came with this blueprint. So you got like a limited edition card, you got the blueprint, you got the sub, you got the stand, and then you got this really cool box that says Disney Sea across the front, and it's wrapped in like this multi colors of green. Looks like seaweed around the box, and then in the corner, and this is all in like gold foil. It says special limited edition.
I love it.
Nice.
What's this?
Yes, that is a artist rendering of Tokyo Disneyland.
It's beautiful.
And I think you guys heard the story from me last time. My wife and I are at constant odds about where I can put my Disney collection. When we bought our house, I had her sign a document that said that I got complete rule of at least one floor of the house. And I chose the ground floor, which we live in a 3-story house. So on the ground floor, it's the largest portion of the house. It's where my office is, where I'm talking from. It's got my bathroom where you saw, my Pirates of the Caribbean and my Haunted Mansion Gickleys. and then it also has, and then in my family room is like what I could put on the walls in the wall space that I have available to me. Now, if I go up the stairs to the next floor, my wife told me she'd divorce me if I put anything above.
I was going to say, when you say first floor, do you really mean basement?
No, not basement. I mean first
Okay,
floor.
all right.
Yeah, because here in Southern California, we don't
No.
need basements.
No, there's no
so
basements.
unless you have a forest fire or something, which we have all the time. But no basements. So our house is a true 3-story house, but the ground floor, when you come through the garage, or you come through the garage, you're on my floor. If you come through the main entry of our house, you're on the second floor, and then all our bedrooms and such are on the top floor. Now, of the floors in our house, only the middle floor has a vaulted ceiling. It's like on an angle. So when I had our house remodeled about 12 years ago, I worked with the contractors and I said, look, I'm going to put some Disney artwork posters or lithographs or whatever up in this blank space of the house that I've been looking at for like the last 20 years that has not had anything up there. And I know I'm going to get into hot water with my wife if I do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So these guys, we had to go up on a scissor lift to get to that spot. We put it in place. I've never even gone up there to dust it. I mean, it's so hard to get to, literally impossible. So it sat up there for 6 months before she saw it, and she goes, "What's that?" And I'm going, "Oh, sweetheart, that's my lithograph of Tokyo Disneyland." She said, "How long has it been there for?" I said, "Oh, 6 months," and caused a fight, but she got over it, and everything was cool.
Oh, that one's pretty. I like the pink and the blue. I'm a sucker for.
That one's really pretty.
And that's a Herb Ryman original. Oh, well, not original, but it's his drawing.
Cool. Okay, here we go. Oh, shoot. Dang it, I did it again.
Whoop.
Jeff, I'm just doxing myself. Stop share. Why do I keep doing
Well, you know this is live.
Yeah, nothing I can do about it. Whatever. Do my
Right.
best. Sorry.
I know where you're going next.
I know, yeah, you
Yeah.
saw it. All right. Do. I'm the one, I'm like, I don't like dead air. Look what I'm doing.
Yeah. That next one is a Gickley of
coming your
Phantom
way.
Manor from, at the time it was Euro Disneyland, now it's Disneyland Paris. But that one, I want to say Tim Delaney did that artwork, which, there we go, that one. That's Tim Delaney's work.
Ooh, I love
And
that.
I
Beautiful.
got that, they over the Disney galleries at Disneyland, they were selling this for Phantom Manor. I think I got that right around in the 90s, and it was during Halloween. But it's such a classic picture or painting that he did of the manor that I just absolutely love. And again, when we were remodeling the house, I said, I want this thing to go up, but I can't leave it in plain sight to where when Sandy brings her guests to the house, I just can't leave it out there where they're going to embarrass her or whatever. So this one went into the stairwell of our house.
So
I
I take
Yeah,
it your
same
wife
kind
is
of
not
color
a fan?
scheme. It's beautiful.
My wife does not share the same love for Disney that I do. She was just raised differently than I was, and I love her to death, but she absolutely hates Disney to death.
Oh my God.
She does not like anything about Disney, and she tolerates my Disney collection and my passion because she knows how special it is for me. So she just bites her tongue, and it's what it is. She just leaves
Guess
that
what?
alone.
I don't hate that. As a divorced man, I will say
Oh.
this: it's nice to be tolerated.
I can't begin to
I
tell
try
you.
to set
Oh.
I try to set the bar real low.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many times my wife has tried to
Toleration.
get me to sell my collections. You need to sell this. You need to. This stuff is worth a lot of money. I go, I know, but I'm not going to sell it. The day I die, you go ahead and sell it. But I'm not selling it.
No, I get it. Every day I look in the mirror, I wake up, I go, today.
Yeah, I'm walking
gonna
down
be
the stairs
tolerated.
every morning, up and down the stairs. I get to see this thing, and I just
Yeah.
absolutely love. I love this work.
Well,
Yeah,
and I'll tell
Tim.
you what, a lot of people, especially if it's not your
Yeah,
thing, a lot of people are like, oh, but someone that's like, okay, I know you love it.
yeah.
Okay, you can
Well,
have it. That's special. I'm not joking when I say that. I think that is a cool thing. It's neat that you can geek out on the stuff you love that brings you joy. And
Oh, wait a second. This is not Tim Delaney. This is getting close to that name. It's gotta. It's
you're gonna
no, jeez.
you're gonna have to get up and go go find
I'm gonna have to
it.
go up there and take a closer look at the name. But anyway, we'll leave that for another time because it's
Okay.
hard to get up to look at that signature from my stairwell. Okay, this one, I had Herbert Ryman sign it for me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is a limited edition to 300. It was one of the first original lithographs that the Disneyana shop in on Main Street sold back in 1987. And if you go to the bottom right corner of the painting, you'll see Herbert Ryman's signature. And I stood right over his shoulder as he signed his name to this. Yeah, he was there at the Disneyana shop that day signing all of his artwork that was up for sale at the gallery, and I was fortunate enough to get this one and literally everything that he made that day.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And that picture is
that
of,
that one hangs above my bedroom door. My bedroom, actually my bed in my bedroom. My wife snores really loud, and I don't. And so at our age, we have so many rooms in our house that sit unoccupied. She said, "I'm going to take a room and make it my own." And I said, "Go ahead, sweetheart." And I guess I get the master bedroom. So this sits in the master bedroom.
so what is the photo of though?
This is New Orleans Square.
That's what I thought it was, but
Yeah.
you know what took me back, like I guess it's the topper on that domed building. I don't remember seeing those two in New Orleans
Oh yeah.
Square.
Just above the entrance of Pirates of the Caribbean, which is that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
pink portion of the buildings there, you'll see a pirate in that little foyer.
Oh, I see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then below it says Pirates of the Caribbean in Herb's, like sketching lettering.
Mm-hmm.
And Herbie was notorious for putting certain characters in every one of his Disney paintings.
I love it.
And what those characters were is like, you see those two nuns in the
Yes.
okay,
Right here.
you'll find nuns in every one of his paintings.
See, if I was an artist, I would put copyrighted characters, but no, I wouldn't get
Yeah.
sued because nobody would see them. So it'd
And-
be a hidden, it'd be like a hidden Goofy or a hidden Pooh Bear or something, you know?
And you see the guy that's behind,
Where-
behind the nuns off to the side, to the right,
Yes.
right there. That you almost have your pointer on him. Okay,
Yes. Right here with the hat
yeah,
or something.
right. That's Herb Ryman.
Oh,
He put
okay.
his own caricature in like a priest, like a pastor's uniform, standing behind them.
Well, you know why he does nuns in all his pictures at
No.
Disney, right? I do. You want to know why?
Sure, I'd love
Because
to.
you have none of your money left when you leave.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe that one too.
She got me with that. That's funny. You got me. God, darn.
But this painting is huge. I mean, this thing is like without the frame, without the molding, the matting, everything. This thing is like 4.5 feet by like 3.5 feet. It's gigantic.
It's pretty because
Wow.
I like how subdued it is. It's not.
That's what I
It's
was
not
saying.
Thomas Kincaid. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Right.
it's.
There's hidden Mickeys all over in this thing that
'Cause I would never
Herb
know.
was.
If I was not a Disney person, I wouldn't
if-
know. I'd just be like,
If
"Oh,
you
that's
see
pretty
right
Yeah.
where the nuns are standing and you go straight up between the buildings, you'll see a couple of masts and sails and stuff. That is like the harbor behind the proposed harbor behind New Orleans Square. And if you go to Disneyland today, you can still see those same masts and sails. They're still sitting there on top of New Orleans Square, right where the Blue Bayou restaurant is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when they build something per sketches and per artist renderings, from Sam McKim to Herbie Ryman, they were true to form. They would build exactly what they saw, what the artist rendered out.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah.
dang it, I did it. Why does it keep doing this? Sorry, everyone. Stop. Man, I set it up. All right, hold on. All right, so what do you what? Okay, so collection wise, what are you after next?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that's a good question. Because my collection is so massive, and Disney's just one collection of many collections that I do, that I'm really into autographs.
Okay.
Oh, okay. The Walt Disney Story, when that went
Well,
in
you
in
could finish your thought.
1973.
I mean, I'm curious, like, what kind of autographs would you?
Now, this book is just Imagineering put it out, and it's got a little plate in on the inside of Walt Disney, and it doesn't talk about it, but just mentions the Walt Disney Story on the inside. It's just like a false book. I wonder if that's your next picture. There we go. Here it is. Yeah. So, in a living legacy to the master storyteller of the world, dedicated in the spring of 1973 at Disneyland. And they gave this particular book out to all of the press and other invited guests. They all got one. But these books are really hard to come by, and you rarely find them in this kind of condition. They're usually like the binder is ripped, or the top part of the book is like separated from the box. So to find it in this kind of condition is very rare.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I look at for every day. This is what I look at just above my desk.
Wow. I love the monorail.
I've got monorail red and monorail blue, and when I get tired of looking at red, I put that one back in the box and I put blue out. And believe it or not, of the two editions, these came out during the 50th anniversary of Disneyland back in 2005. And monorail blue and monorail red, there is nothing different between them other than the color. But the thing is that monorail blue, they limited that particular monorail to 500. The edition is 500, whereas the red one is limited to 1955 for the year that Disneyland opened. Oh, I'm sorry, 1959, the year that the monorail was presented to Disneyland. So for whatever reason, the blue one is worth like 5 times more than what the red one is, but they're both made by a company called Master Replica. And Master Replicas builds a lot of these like models for Disney, whether it's for the Imagineers to study from, like a Marquette, or they put them out for sale for guests to buy, like I got. But the accuracy on that monorail, or either monorail, is pinpoint accurate. Every single rivet, every single like little mark is exactly what that monorail looked like when it came out in '59.
Wow. Is it heavy? Like if you were to pick it up?
Yeah, that one is a little harder to get off the track because it sits on the like the Disneyland monorail track, and you have to like slide it from either edge into place. I can't like go over there and grab it and pull it straight up. It won't come off.
Is it die cast? Is it die cast? Yeah. Okay.
That one's not a die cast, but it's like a combination of plexiglass and some other material, but it's a little more lightweight, but not as not lightweight as much as you would think. It's still pretty heavy.
Cool.
What are all those employee badges?
Yeah. Go back a slide. Go back a slide.
All right. Like I said,
there's a lot of stuff on that shelf. I
yeah,
wanted to point out. Okay, so
you have a bunch of employee badges down at the bottom.
So, okay, those are when I worked at Disneyland and Disney and didn't whenever you went into Imagineering, you had to have a badge. So I had a badge, and that badge, which I kept, is on the far left side of this screen. So if you scroll over to the left, you'll see my badge. No, that's the right side. Here we go. That's right. There we go. During 40th anniversary. So,
Oh, I
in
see.
1992, that was Walt Disney Imagineering's 40th anniversary, and I was still there working as an outside contractor for those other landscape firms. And when I went into Imagineering, that's the badge they gave me.
Neat.
So, got that. And let's see here. Then I made a point over the years where if I run across my name on any Disney cast member badge, I'll either buy it from another collector, or if it's somebody that I know that works for wardrobe that is willing to, just bring one out of the park for me, I'll talk them into getting that that way. But I've got so many badges. I even have my original Disneyland badge, which is a kind of like an oval shape. Oh gosh, it's hard to describe if you've ever seen one. I don't have it up there right now, but my badge has my name on it, but it's on a like a sort of a grayish material with a white background. And yeah, I wore that one for 4 years when I worked at Disneyland. But some of the other ones there in the front, you see there's a couple of like cloisonne that say Imagineer, and those are for special events for the celebration of Tokyo Disneyland, Disney Sea, but that's that shelf. That's a lot of my name tags and such, and also right where you have the pointer. If you take that pointer and go straight down to the badges, stop right there. That is a special limited badge that was given out to cast members of Tokyo Disneyland when Tokyo Disneyland had their first year celebration in 1984. So I happened to have a friend that worked at the park over at Tokyo, and he gave me one of his. So, but you'll see.
Venerina collects, Venerina, are you still on? I don't know if you can hear me. She collects pins. She's a pin
Cool.
trader, and she's got like thousands of pins, and
Oh my
can
gosh.
tell you and school you on every aspect of the pins. I'm not. Jeff, do you know about the pins? Like anything about them? I don't really follow
Not
it.
a whole lot, but I think they're cool when people.
Yeah, they are cool.
Sorry. I'm here.
Okay.
My phone cut out again.
We were
Well,
trying to ask him about
What
the
was the
pins.
question, Dawn?
If he had any pins, and I told him that you collect pins and you're very knowledgeable about it.
Oh,
Well, I have a
I actually asked him about that last time too. He had a couple.
I have two Walt Disney World Hostess badges that are just below that Haunted Mansion ghost. I have a lenticular portrait of they call it Master Gracie, but it's this particular. Oh gosh, I'm tongue-tied at the moment. But just above my Country Bear Jamboree celebration badge is Master Gracie, and just below that portrait and the Country Bear Jamboree button are my two Walt Disney World Hostesses badges that every ambassador would wear.
Oh, cool.
And then just to the right, you'll see below that, you'll see the 50th anniversary button, the golden, black, and white one. Just to the right is the 75th anniversary of Imagineering. I'm sorry, of the Walt Disney Company. And just to the right of that one is another Disney ambassador gold pin that she would wear, and I believe that's for Disneyland, or it could be Walt Disney
right
World.
here. Is that this, or where is that at?
Nope, just a little to the left of the screen.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Cool.
More to the left. More. It's just like off. There we go. Right there. You see that gold one that's like laying on its side. Your pointer's
like here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That one is the Disney World Ambassador's badge.
Cool, man.
And then where your pointer was, where it was a moment ago, I've got a Bob Olzinski's Monsanto's House of the Future model on that. It's
You're gonna have to always direct me. Right?
Yeah, I've got Bob's. I've got a lot of Bob's
House of the Future. I know
models.
the House of the Future. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the Haunted Mansion. I got City Hall for Main Street. Then I got the Castle, and then I've got the House of the Future, and pretty much that's that shelf. And let's see here. I've got some original tickets from Disneyland in the background. I got a Disneyland Railroad, a Disneyland freight car, a couple of them set in like a plastic frame in the very back, and then in the dead center behind City Hall, I've got the plaque that's famous, that sits at the flagpole, base of the flagpole at Disneyland, where, welcome to this happy place. It's a whole dedication to Disneyland by Walt Disney. So you'll see it in the very back there, just above the retirement of the 50th for the submarines. But again, there's so much stuff on this page that it's hard to point this stuff out.
I need to come over and take some high def photos.
Yeah,
Jeff, you need to be the Vanna White and be over there pointing at.
Everybody. Yeah, I'll just come over your house. How about that? We'll just we'll hire
what you can't see also on that same shelf in the very back behind the 50th and the 75th, Walt Disney Company buttons. In the very back is my autograph that I got Harrison Ford to sign for me for the 40th anniversary card for Disneyland. So when Disneyland in 1995 had their special celebration for 40 years of happiness or 40 years of magic, they had 40 cards given out. And on the grand opening of the Indiana Jones Adventure at Disneyland, they gave out the 40th card, which is the gold card. And when I was there during the grand opening of the attraction, a couple of my imaginary friends got me into that ceremony, and Harrison Ford was there, and George Lucas was there, and such. Once that presentation was over with, and Harrison Ford was coming off stage, I had my black pen and a marker pen in hand, and I walked up on him and just said, "Mr. Ford, can you sign this for me?" And he goes, "Sure." Signature right across the front of it. That, getting a Harrison Ford signature, you'd have.
That doesn't, the way you describe that doesn't sound like Harrison Ford. I imagine he would be like, "Sure, kid," or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
Harrison Ford, to get a signature out of that guy, you'd have better luck at winning the lottery than getting Harrison Ford to sign anything for anybody.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's fun.
But he signed that card for me.
Oh, cool.
Then on the shelf, on that same shelf where the monorail is, there's so much stuff on that level.
Do you want to go there? What do you
sure,
want? Sure,
there we go. Right there.
We can go there. What we'll do is let's go for about half an hour more, and here's what we can do.
Yeah.
I have all the pictures. You'll come back on. We can do this weekly. I don't care.
Okay.
But I think what we're figuring out, because we're figuring out podcasting, because we've been trying to do this for a few years, is that it's good to do it in chunks. And so you'll come back, and we'll be back. But let's go for about half more hour, and we can stay here. We can do whatever you want.
Well, everybody sees what's on that page. The only thing I want to point out is one thing. In the very back is the helmet that the cast members of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea wore for 20,000 Leagues. You can see those on the right-hand side, right side of the cup. Okay. Oh, the cup. And then I've got there we go. Those two.
I see them. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were also master replica productions, and they're true to form. They were modeled after the actual helmets that were in the movie. And then also I've got an HO scale CK Holiday right where the pointer is, and I got a Ingersoll Mickey Mouse watch hanging in that little like
Yeah,
domed
that's
thing
cool.
there.
Close.
You
Yeah.
know, and
What is the
then
key? The key by the clock. What is that key for?
oh, that was a limited key that was given out to the licensees of Disneyland back in '55. Walt gave these keys out personally to like limited VIP, but mainly the lessees. So every lessee that had a shop or anything special that they were selling at Disneyland at that time all got a key. So those keys are really hard to come by. They're made by the Yale Key Company. That was an actual shop on Main Street, right next to, which is now the Opera House. But back in the day, it was like the facility where the Mickey Mouse Club used to have special engagements and such. But later on, it turned into the Opera House, which then turned into Great Moments with Mr. Linker, which then later turned into the living legacy of Walt Disney, which is what
One
they have in
man's
there now.
dream, right? Or no?
Yeah, I'm like, I want to be a Disney latchkey kid. Come on.
I can see that, Jeff. You'd
Yeah.
be a
Walt just like the keys under the bus or under the mat, kid.
And
like,
the key doesn't open anything. It's a blank key. And I don't know why Walt didn't, make it into an actual key, but that was just his thing. But on one side of the key it says Yale, and on the other side it says Disneyland in the classic Disneyland logo and such of 1955. So that's on
so
that key.
cool. That would be cool on a shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I got a paperweight just to the side of that what you're pointing at there, that was a limited Walt Disney World medallion for the opening of Walt Disney World from 71. And then behind that, I've got 50th anniversary to Walt Disney's birthday. They made a special watch that sat in this like makeshift Lily Bell cab of the train. That's what you're looking at there. And then to the left of that is the 1973 limited. This is the medallion that they gave out to all shareholders coming into the stockholders meeting. That medallion just below Walt's face on that medallion. And the medallion itself, the Walt medallion, that's the Walt Disney medallion that was made back in 1968, and I've got like 2 or 3 of those. But that particular medallion was owned by Leota Toombs, and we all know who Leota Toombs is, right?
Yes, the haunted man in the glass globe.
But we gotta know this. Some of our listeners,
Leota Toombs is the head in the in the floating crystal ball in the Haunted Mansion, and she was one of the key designers of the Haunted Mansion. But when the coin came out, Walt Disney, well, he wasn't alive at that time, but she got one of these coins that came from Cal Arts. If you were a Cal Arts University sponsor, you got one of these coins. But if you weren't, you had to do a minimum donation of $100 to get one. And I don't know how many they minted, but I've got so many of those coins. On one side, you got Walt Disney's face, like what we're seeing here. And on the back side, you've got Mickey Mouse in the center, wrapped by all these other Disney characters around Mickey Mouse. It's a really cool coin or medallion.
Yeah.
But it's a bronze medallion. It weighs a lot. Yeah.
What now? Where are we going? Where are we going on this journey?
And just to the left of the Walt Disney medallion, I've got a special. It looks like a spike into a piece of rock, and what it is it was a special presentation for Tokyo Disneyland's opening of Big Thunder Mountain or Big Thunder Railway. So the Oriental Land Company issued a whole bunch of these rocks with the spike in it to the press back when that attraction opened at Tokyo Disneyland, and it came in its own presentation box, and there's several other things that came in that box aside from this heavy die cast rock that looks like it came straight from Big Thunder Railway. And what you can't see, because the spike is in the way, is there is a little trail of gold going down the side of the rock face. It's pretty cool. It's a cool collectible. Yeah. Let's see here. And then you see me in a Star Wars uniform. About 5 or 6 years ago, D23 offered to gold members an opportunity to get one of these. And yeah, and you here had
Why
a
did
choice.
you start with this?
You could either be a Mouseketeer, or you could be a Stormtrooper, or you could be, I forget what the third character was. And I chose Stormtrooper, and what they asked me to do is send a picture of me at the time. And that time I did have that kind of hair. So my mustache, everything. I mean, that caricature of me in a Stormtrooper outfit is spot on accurate for when that was done.
Lead with that. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is a giant Stormtrooper. Oh yeah, with my head on it.
And I look at that above my desk every day. I'm looking at it right now.
That's funny. I love that.
That's cool.
Okay.
So where do you want to go from here?
There's a door. Is that a door behind the Stormtrooper?
Yes. One of my friends, Topher Adam, he is an incredible Disney artist. He doesn't work for Disney, but his passion is Haunted Mansion, anything Haunted Mansion. He has made some of the most amazing collectibles I've ever seen for the Haunted Mansion. This one is a very limited edition. I don't know the exact number to the edition, but it is one of the Haunted Mansion doors, and the accuracy is spot on. I mean, you've got the wrought iron work in the face above the door. You've got the door handle that looks like a serpent. You got like the punch out center part of the door when you're on the attraction, how that part of the door like breathes, it goes in and out. He's got all this stuff. The level of detail in this door would just blow your mind if you got up close and looked at this thing.
Well,
and
right now, shout out to my buddy Jason Etzel, who was part of
if
Discovered.
If you saw both sides of this door, fortunately for me, I'm looking at the both sides look really amazing, but this side has all the like what Topher wrote at the base of the door. It has some like an inscription on it. I can't remember what it says. I'm in the dark room right now.
Yeah.
Far away from my light switch.
It's beautiful. And what I was going to say is I have friends that are prop designers, and they do props and custom things like that, like sometimes full scale. And my friend Jason Etzel, I was going to give him a shout out on Discovered Magic podcast. Well, that's one thing he puts.
Jeff, is that how it's pronounced? Machetta? I always thought it was Marquette.
Oh no, I don't know. I think maybe I said what I said was I have a friend named Jason Etzel who does prop designs, and but sometimes they will do 1-to-1 and design the door for people, and that's how I know a few people, that's how they make their living. And so I'm not surprised to see that amount of detail with that door, because I know people that spend a huge amount of time and to get it perfect for their customers. So for sure.
The person I want you guys to interview when we get a chance, this other person is one of my good friends. His name is Pony Horton. Okay. He is one of these types of artists we're describing here. Mm-hmm. He does miniature that would just blow your mind. I've seen sets that he's done for Hollywood that look like I'm looking like 1-to-1 scale, but I'm looking at a little miniature that's literally like about 3 inches tall. And it's the things that he does is just blows me away. What Pony can do. Now, you have got to get him on the show, and you can talk to him about the things that he's done for Disney.
Oh, we would love to. We would love to, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. So that's that shelf.
Okay.
So on to the next.
Up or down?
Oh, just off this
Ooh,
page,
up or
off to the
down?
next.
Okay. Let's go. Okay. We got some cool pictures.
Okay, I've got 3 autographs of Walt Disney. This is my one that I showed you guys last week or last time, which is in that collage that sits in my family room. I've got Walt's signature, I've got Roy's signature, and I've got Don Tatum's, and I've got Roy E's signature on it. Well, this was the second one I got from a very close friend of mine. I bought this out of his collection. This particular signature of Walt Disney is on an original Aunt Jemima menu. I'm sorry, placemat from the original restaurant out of Frontierland. So if you, I've never taken this frame apart because I really don't like the frame and how he put this thing together. I want to redo it, but for right now, he's got a black and white of Walt Disney, and then he's got a little like sketch of like from Minnie's Yoo-Hoo below it on the bottom.
Pretty. I love that.
And these are beautiful prints of the originals, but it's that signature Walt Disney. When I went to get these things insured, my Walt Disney autographs, because at the time, Dave Smith was a very close friend of mine. I went to insure it, and the company that I was using to insure my rare collectibles with, they said, well, you're going to need to have somebody to endorse what we're looking at here. I said, well, some of this stuff came from Dave Smith. They go, who's Dave Smith? I go, well, Dave Smith, he's the archives for Disney Studios, for the whole company. They go, well, we don't know who he is. You need to find somebody who specializes in autographs that can actually, validate that these are actual Walt Disney signatures. I went, whoa, okay. So I reached out to the Disney company. I said, who would you recommend I go to for insurance purposes to validate these signatures? And I forget who I talked to at the time, but they recommended a gentleman by the name of Phil Sears. And Phil Sears lives about 3 miles from my house. He is a really nice guy. He is the leading world authority on Walt Disney's signature.
Oh wow!
And I brought it over to his house. I took all 3 of my autographs. I said, Phil, can you validate these? And he said, yeah, sure, Greg, I'll do it, but it's going to cost you $50 an autograph. And I'm going, whoa!
Oh gosh, I guess I won't be ramen noodles next week.
Like no bulk deal here, dude.
Yeah.
He goes, no, $50 a piece, and now his price is even more expensive if you want to get him to authenticate it. But I took that authentication that Phil gave me. I took it to the insurance, and from that I could insure my autographs. Yeah. So my autographs, each autograph is insured for $10,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I was going to ask what the value.
Because that sits on an Aunt Jemima placemat. Because a lot of people they don't want to believe that Aunt Jemima and her pancake house even existed in Frontierland. So it's a hard sell to Disney collectors about the Aunt Jemima restaurant in Frontierland. But when on the back of this framed, of Walt's signature and the 2 pictures, on the back side, I've got Phil's endorsement, and I've also got the actual placemat, but it's just a photocopy, so I can stick it on the back of the frame. So it was just for insurance purposes. But the actual Aunt Jemima placemat looks really cool. On this side that you're looking at, it's just a blank white sheet of paper. But on the other side, you got Aunt Jemima, the classic pose of her in her little red, beanie scarf hat, and she's selling her pancakes. It's really cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so neat.
So I've got that autograph of Walt. I've got another one, like I mentioned a moment ago, where Walt is seated between 2 chimpanzees. It was a publicity shot of that Walt used to keep a stack of publicity photographs on his desk, and whenever anybody wanted his autograph, he'd take one off of his desk and sign it and mail it out to whoever. So mine's mailed out to or endorsed to some guy named Bruce, who I don't know who Bruce is, but his signature on that picture, it's a really crisp, bold signature that Phil said is really hard to get of the things that he's endorsed or he's validated as being Walt Disney's signature. He says this is such a clean image of his signature that he put a value of about almost $9,000 on it for me.
That's so cool.
Nice.
And then I have another one. It sits on a business card of Walt's, and it's Walt's business card. So one corner of the card says Walt Disney, and in the center he just signed his name.
That's another.
And I don't remember if I sent that one to Phil too, but I might have. I don't. I threw so much stuff at you, Jeff. You know.
That's okay. It's okay.
I can't remember all the things.
We'll chip away at it, man. We'll preserve it for you. That way you have video, and you'll have for the rest of your life. You can have. You know.
But this signature was clearly back in I want to say the late 50s, early 60s, only because what timestamps it is the menu itself. However long Aunt Jemima restaurant was in Frontierland will tell you how old this particular signature is. So the publicity shot one that's in my family room, that's between the two chimpanzees. I think that was the Dean Jones movie where it was some space pilot. I forget the title of the movie.
There's
But there we go.
There's the
Made out to Bruce. Yeah. That is such a clean. Phil said that's one of the best signatures of Walt that he's seen in a long time.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's clean. Look at that.
So that
I
hangs.
didn't know they had Sharpie markers.
Oh yeah, his Sharpie markers. In that same frame, my buddy Joe taught me how to frame, so I did all the framing here.
That looks good.
I put this whole thing together, and so to the to the left of the Walt Disney picture is a plaque that I had my buddy Joe make for me on his laser engraver, and it basically shows every four CEOs. I had Walt Disney, then Roy Disney, and then Don Tatum in this collage of pictures, but their names are represented on that plaque, and then on the bottom of their names and how long they served on the board is the classic caption where Walt said, let's not forget that it all started with a mouse. That's in the bottom, and it's in Walt Disney script, so it looks like your classic Walt Disney signature.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, there we go. Well, you see that? Okay. I was at a stockholders meeting. I had Roy Disney sitting to the right of me, and I had Sidney Poitier sitting to the left of me at the stockholders meeting, and
Wow.
Don Tatum, who was one of the CEOs back in 71 to I think 74. He was seated to the right of Roy E. Disney. So when I had my 5 Adventures and Disneyland ticket book in my hand, I just said, "Hey Roy, do you think you can sign this for me?" "Oh sure." So he signed it, and then I looked over at Don and I said, "Don, do you think you can sign it too?" And he goes, "Sure." So he signed it too, and that's what you're looking at right there. It would have messed things up if I leaned over to Sidney Poitier and say, "Sign this," because he had nothing to do with the Disney company at the time, so I didn't want to have his signature on there too. But that's my ticket book with those signatures.
There's a better look at that signature.
Oh yeah,
which I think is fantastic. That's a great picture.
it's such a clean
and
signature.
while it's clean and like when I sign my name, it's a little bit different every time.
Oh, if
Walt
you
Disney's-
saw. If you
Walt
saw the evolution of Walt Disney's signature going back to the 20s up to this time, his signature changed so many times. I mean,
yeah,
it would just blow you away.
so did mine. Same thing. I'm like, is that mine? Oh no, that is mine. Okay, that's mine.
And I was going to say, just below that picture, just a second ago, is my autograph letter that Roy Disney did to this farmer named Tom Gerald. Tom Gerald was a farmer near Edna's and Roy's home, and he grew some peaches and he put them in a little basket, and brought them over to them to enjoy. So Roy wrote this letter to him thanking him for him, and his letter ended up at the Howard Lowry's auction. I wanted this thing really badly. I put a ridiculous bid on it, and I got it.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Neat.
Thank you very much, Tom, for the delicious peaches. Mrs. Disney and I are enjoying them, and it was nice of you to think of us, Roy.
And that's a publicity shot of Roy Disney taken back in the 40s. I got that out of Dave Smith's collection.
Back before they had AI to really just to really be like, hey, make me look cool.
So people say, well, what's
You
that
had to
in his
actually be
hand?
cool.
What is that thing in his hand? I go, that's called a telephone.
That's called a rotary phone. Where it went shunk 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 shunk. Oh man, that's hilarious. That's great photos though. I mean, I wanted to. Why can't this be like my Facebook, profile picture? Nobody. I don't have two monkeys.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Okay, 5 more minutes. Let's go.
Okay, this thing has nothing to do with Disney. What it was is that the MGM studios were doing their auction back in the 70s, and they were selling a lot of props that they had from their many movies that they'd made over the years, from for the beginning of the studio all the way up until this one particular point. And what you're looking at is the Time Machine from the 1960 classic, The Time Machine, H.G. Wells, that Sebastian Cabot was one of the stars in the movie, and let's see, James Taylor was H.G. Wells in the movie, and he's explaining to his friends, there were like 5 professionals, a banker and a couple of other guys, how his time machine worked. And he said, I've got an active model here. I'll demonstrate for you. So they pull, Sebastian Cabot's holding this box. It's called the Tantalus box. Wow. He's holding the box. That lock just above the time machine actually locks. And this thing closes up to form a box. But when you unlock it and flip the lid up and then swing the doors out, the walls are all padded, velvet, red velvet, and then the time machine sits in the center. And that time machine actually works. All I have to do is, hook it up to a power source, and the actual switch on the main like cylinder apparatus, that's like in front of the chair. Yeah. You flip that thing up, and the back wheel spins and the lights flash.
Oh my gosh.
If you say flux capacitor, I'm going to come over and get this.
I was going to say, I want a time machine.
Yeah,
I don't even have to have a DeLorean. I just flip a switch like a toaster.
Did you hear him say this thing works? I'm like, I'm trying to pick the year I'm ready to go back to.
Yeah, this thing works.
80s, Don. We'd go back.
But I'm afraid to turn it on and set it to a time, because it'll disappear and I'll never get it back.
No, man.
But that's one of my favorite collectibles also, that's not Disney, but it has so much film history behind it. Back in during that auction when MGM was doing it, Tony Baxter, he went to the auction, and this is, mind you, this is back in early 70s. He went to the auction too. I didn't know Tony at the time. And but he got a classic thing from a classic MGM movie that if you saw it, you guys, it would bring you to tears if you saw this thing. But Tony has the actual hourglass that Margaret Hamilton throws down the stairs, and at Dorothy and everything, and all that purple mist like escapes from it. He's got one of those hourglasses. They made, I think Tony told me, he said they made about 9 or 10 of them, and in the production of the movie, that particular scene, they busted like 7 of them after retake of the scene with Margaret Hamilton throwing this thing. And rather than, bring the busted one up and repair it, no, they just pulled another one off the shelf. Here you go, Margaret. Throw this one down too at Dorothy. So they went through a lot of those hourglasses, and at the auction they were selling one, and Tony told me that when he went there and saw the price tag of the starting bid, he went, "Well, geez, this is really expensive." He did something. I'm not going to share this part.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, let's not share that part. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole about that piece, but he has the actual hourglass, and it's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Yeah.
Wow. So I want to go forward, but this is why I think it's a good place to end, because I'm going to remember Time Machine.
Yeah.
And so, but here's what we'll do. We'll just call this part 1. And I'm committed, and I would love to keep moving on. And Greg, we can do this when we can do it weekly, and I think
weekly.
It's so cool.
Yeah, my Saturdays are completely free. I mean,
that's perfect. I want to keep going, and this is a great. I'll call it like part 1. Next week we'll do part 2, and that's what we'll do. I think that'll be great.
Okay.
And we'll keep. I like that we're not rushing through these, because one thing that we do is we want to preserve the magic, and this is your collection, and what a cool thing for us to get to. Like, I love these kind of podcasts where you can actually like put it on your TV and go, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's what that is. Like, if you got a big screen, you can just watch. But let's not rush through them. But let's just keep doing them. This is part 1, everyone. But we'll move on to part 2 next week, and it's good for us too, because we can put out regular content, and yet it's an honor, because then you get to go, hey, now you can save the videos and say, hey, I have these things to. Oh, Venerina has a question.
Sure.
Quick question. Have you ever been to the store Recycling the Magic in Orlando?
What's it called?
Recycling the Magic?
No.
Okay. So it's this really cool store, and I feel like you would love this store. Any Disney lover, collector, anyone would love this store. But they just opened an online store.
Okay.
And so they literally sell Disney trash cans. You could buy a seat from the Dumbo ride. You could buy the log from the original Splash Mountain, but they have like everything you could think of in that store.
We had a thing when I worked at Disneyland. It was every summer. It was called the summer garage sale, and everything you can imagine that Disney wanted to throw out, they would give it up for us cast members to buy. And I had in my hand one of the original stretch portraits out of the Haunted Mansion, and they wanted $100 for it. And I looked at it,
Wow.
I was barely making $1.50 an hour working at Disneyland. I go, I can't afford this thing, and so I just put it back up on the shelf. But I had it in my hand. I had an opportunity to buy this thing. Those portraits are worth about $150,000 a piece.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wow.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the annual garage sale, I don't know if that still happens, but D23.
But this is a
the actual
full
company
store of garage. It's like Recycling the Magic. It's a full thing, right? That's cool.
Yeah, they have everything. They have some autographs in there.
Oh, yeah.
Not like the big names, obviously, but like cast members. There's a couple Imagineers that I've seen they had. They have artwork. They have like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, if you're on the hunt, there you go.
Yeah,
like
one of these podcasts, I'll have to take all the books that I have had autographed. I've got so many of the original 9 Old Men, of you name it.
Well, and you have yet to send me anything goofy. So
from Bill Farmer,
you got anything goofy. I love goofy. So anything, I love anything. Yeah, Lisa's like, you do, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Orange. Well, I guess I do.
I have on my desk here an original sketch by Roy Williams, the big Musketeer from the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
He sketched when he used to walk around Disneyland back in the 50s and 60s. He sketched for my buddy Steve a sketch of Goofy. No, not Goofy, of Pluto.
Oh, I like.
And I have that sketch.
That's a cool one.
But it's signed Roy Williams on his stationery, and it says the
awesome.
Big Musketeer on it too.
Ah.
It's really cool.
I don't have many memorabilia, but I got a couple, and I might break them out. They're not. It's usually spoiler. It's like a T-shirt, like signed by Pauly Shore of like Bobby's Pizza.
There
You
you
know, when I
go.
met Pauly Shore, and I did my.
You have a shirt that says the weasel.
No, it says okay, Bobby's Pizza. I'll bring it next time. And so I met Pauly Shore. I went, saw him, and I went, hey Pauly, I do a pretty good Goofy. I'm gonna do it for you. He goes, all right. I was like the last one in line to autograph him. And I did like, well, hey, Pauly, it's nice to see you. You know, all that stuff. He goes, and he looks at me and goes, pretty good. And then he signs my shirt. And I was like, boom.
I love that.
So that's one story.
When
I
you're
have.
going for these signatures, it's like you want at least some kind of reaction out of these people as they're signing these things for you. Some of them are so deadpan that you'll never get a reaction out of them, and then some of them, luck of the draw, you'll get something. Like
Yeah.
when I got Mark Hamill's signature on my movie program from the original Star Wars, you know, I handed it to him, and I wanted to talk to him, and he's like, "Yeah, thanks. Okay, signed it. And on to the next."
Yeah.
Nothing, just deadpan face, you know.
Yeah. No, for Pauly, I could tell he was tired. I waited. I was the last one in line. He did a stand up thing, and then I'm like, I could tell you. I could just look and go, dude, you're exhausted. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to give him something. I was like, Pauly, I know you're tired. Thanks for being here, but I do a pretty good Goofy. I just want to do it for you. He's like, all right, and then I did. He goes, and he like half smile, like, okay, you know. But it's those kind of interactions I like. It's just they're sweet and they're stories, right?
Yeah.
So
Love that.
a lot of what you own is they're not just, hey, look at what I have. It's let's talk about the story
Yeah.
behind it, and I think that's worth preserving and that's worth talking about. You know.
I just love Disney collectibles. It's
Yeah.
just they're my passion, and you know, it's just when somebody starts to crack into a conversation about Disney collectibles, man, watch out, because I will give you a flood of information.
Why not? You know, we're a vault. We're a vault. And
What's
so-
your favorite collectible?
Oh my gosh, Jeff asked that last.
Oh,
I
last
did.
time.
okay.
I know, Don. Thanks for showing up to class.
I was driving to the airport, so everybody knows what that's like.
It's hard to narrow me down on a collectible, but I have, you know, my Walt Disney picture, you know, autographs are part of my favorites, and then I've got on the other side of in my family room wall, my one of 3 original concept sketches posters of Phantom Manor. And back in the 90s, I don't know if they still do this to this day, but you know, the way Disney worked was that Imagineering poster department would do a limited run of 13 posters, and then they would cycle them through Imagineering for the managers to get the thumbs up or the thumbs down on what they were seeing. And if enough of them gave them the thumbs down, that concept poster was destined for the incinerator. I mean, they didn't shred it like they used to. There are so many dumpster divers outside the Disney property that everyone's looking for collectibles to see what they're throwing out. They don't do that anymore. They send whatever they don't keep goes straight to the incinerator these days. So of that particular poster, 10 of them went straight to the incinerator. And because I knew Ruben, who was in charge of the poster department, he doesn't work for the company anymore, but Ruben got me one of the Phantom Manors, and then my friend Gregg Abbott got the other one. And to say that is a rarity. If you got to see the poster, what I have versus what is hanging on the walls of Disneyland Paris right now, they don't look anything alike. So it's and again too, the form the lost art of silkscreen versus print on demand, you know, loses a little bit of that richness in colors and such. And what they have out on the columns, you know, or out on the walls at Euro Disney, all right, well, Disneyland Paris, that is a second generation of the original, and I have the original.
So cool.
That's
Okay.
neat.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, this was fun. Let's do it
Yeah.
again, and let's
Awesome.
keep going. And I think we just scratched the surface, but
I know.
this is
Yeah,
fun,
I mean-
and we'll make a whole playlist in our on our channel, and we'll keep it going. I think this is wonderful. I'm committed. So.
Maria, you're back.
She's back, yeah. All right, I'm gonna close us out, and then we'll pick it up again, part 2, everyone, next week.
Saturday.
But yeah, all right, I'm gonna take us out, everybody. No, everybody, no mother. I want to thank you all for being here, and let's keep sharing the magic, preserving the magic, going through this sort of museum collecting whatever tours. It's just so much fun. So Greg, thank you for being here, and we look forward to part 2.
My
Part
pleasure.
2.
Thank you so
Next
much,
week.
everyone. I love you guys, and I love what you do here.
Yeah, I love you too.
This podcast is amazing. It's just, I'm glad you're keeping the magic alive.
Yeah, and thank you for being part of it, and just
Thank you.
love you too.
Thank
and
you
so,
for sharing.
all right, we'll look
selection.
forward to part 2 next week.
Definitely.
All right, live stream.